At the beginning of the film, we see two friends. One of them was named Sophie. She has planned a party for friends at the home of her childhood buddy. The other girl's name is B. Sophie's friends are unaware of the B. She is really anxious. And B was thinking about how Sophie's friends would look at her. And how will they treat her because B was a poor girl. And Sophie and her friends were too rich. But Sophie tells her, "Don't worry, my friends will like you." Now, they reach Sophie's friend's house. And Sophie becomes angry at the window of her car because it didn't get locked. Well, Sophie gets out of the car. After the B applied some makeup, she gets off after looking in the mirror. But B left without turning off the lights in the mirror. They enter the house. And there, all their rich friends were playing in the pool. Everyone is happy to see Sophie, but also surprised. Because she didn't tell anyone in the group chat that she was coming. Now, everyone was happy to see Sophie, except for one, who was Sophie's old friend, and now she hates her. Everyone sees Sophie after a long time. So in order to make this time special, one of Sophie's friends opens the bottle of champagne with a big knife. Everyone takes the wine, and they give it to Sophie. She refuses and says, "No, I'll not drink this." The B does not drink. And later, it starts to rain, so everyone starts to go inside. The friend who is the owner of the house comes to Sophie's room. Sophie asks him how his eyes turned black, and what happened to his eyes. He tells her that recently he had a fight with his friend. He got angry with me, and went back. They were talking and remembering their past. While they are talking, Sophie's old friend goes to B, and tells her that it would be good for her if she stays away from Sophie. Later, when B goes to the kitchen, some girls were making videos there. B was feeling a little uncomfortable in this situation, because she doesn't enjoy it like other girls. All the girls ask her, "How's your and Sophie's friendship going?" B tells them, "Very good." It's now nighttime, and their real party has begun. Everyone has a lot of fun there. They dance and drink. When Sophie and B were dancing there, who hates Sophie, she doesn't like to have fun with B. Now, she calls B with her to dance. When Sophie sees this, she doesn't like it. Sophie tells everyone to play a game. She says that we should play a game here, and it is named Bodies. This game has many rules, and everyone will be given a piece of paper. If X is written down, that person will be a killer among us. The killer would have to find everyone. Later, he'll kill them, not in reality but in the game. When a player dies, they must lie down and act as if they are dead. Then, the one who finds the dead body will have to shout bodies. This is the game, and everyone was ready to play it. Everyone drinks before playing this game. They slapped each other, and this was all quite strange. They turn off the lights, and the game is on. After turning their mobile lights on, they all hide one by one. After turning on her mobile light, B was looking for a place to hide. Meanwhile, she hears someone screaming, "Bodies." The killer has killed someone, which means that a player has found someone. They all come together, and one of their friends has died. This means that he was acting as died. They all wonder who the killer is among them. Everyone was accusing each other, and some alleged you were the murderer, and some say you are, and they begin to fight with each other. This was not their fight in the game, but it was their real fight. Half of them have gone after leaving the game. Now, the remaining people, including Sophie and B, think the game is over, and they begin to drink, and begin to slap each other like crazy. Suddenly the weather becomes bad, and it starts to rain heavily. Because of this, their electricity also turns off. All of the girls become upset and think about how to restore power. Now, they go to a room, and while going through a window, they see that Sophie's friend has arranged a party at his house. His neck was bleeding, and when B shouted, all the girls came to check what happened. But their friend has died there. They were concerned and wondered if there was a true killer present. They tried to call for help as well, but there was no network. Now, they all go to Sophie's car, so that they can request help from the nearby town. But they realize that the car's battery is also faulty, because B had left the car lights on while leaving. Now, they've only got one car, because all of the Sophie's friends came here with one of their friends, who went from there and left with her car after being angry. They don't have any other way, so all the girls come back into the house. Meanwhile, the girl who hates Sophie finds a big knife there that has blood on it, and then a friend tells them, "Maybe our friend who went to fight has returned and has killed him," but the friend who hates Sophie doesn't agree about how something like this might happen. Later, she asks them about their friend, who initially left the game. She says that he told us that he wants sleep. How much we shouted, but he still didn't wake up. Everyone suspected that he had murdered him. But his friend, who brought him here, says, he can't do this, and why would he kill anyone? Everyone asks that girl, "How long have you known that boy?" She says that we met a few months ago. Eventually finds that she knows very little about him. That girl begins to call her friend's name. Now, Sophie's friend closes her mouth, because everyone was sure that he was the killer. 4 of them become extremely worried and enter a room to find the boy. But he was not there, and when they discovered that their friend had gone missing, they check his bag, and they find many things there. And a knife also, and they think that he is the killer. Later, they find their friend who was lost. She was having mental attacks. They give him the medicines. Later, all the girls come to the room of the boy. He was lying down and wearing headphones, so he couldn't hear anything. The girls ask him whatever has happened, but have you heard anything? When they show him the knife, he was trying to take that from them. He asks everyone to calm down and puts down his knife. Meanwhile, two girls jump on him and attack him. Somehow he manages to keep them away from him. Sophie takes the knife, but the boy snatches it from her. B was also seeing all of this and thought that he might kill Sophie. So she comes from behind and attacks him. She kills him. All the girls seem to have lost consciousness. And the girl who was the friend of that boy was too sad. B wasn't believing in her that she has killed someone. In her anxiety, she vomits on her dress. After coming out, Sophie again has a fight with her friend. They were fighting with each other for the boy, who died first and whose house they stayed in. Sophie says that you didn't love her. He was rich, so you were living with her. There, the girl, after listening to Sophie's words, says that he told her thank God Sophie has gone from her life. Now, he won't have to face the madness of Sophie. Hearing this, Sophie is quite disturbed. That one of her good friends was thinking all this about her. Hearing this all, Sophie said to her, it was good if you died. After listening to this, the girl left. B cleaned the blood from her body and changed dresses, and now they've all scattered. A girl's foot was stuck there, and she falls on the dead body of her friend. She was the same friend who was fighting with Sophie, and their other friend died. An old friend of Sophie, who hates her, says, now that she has died, we must determine who the murderer is. One of their friends says, admit that the killer is among us. Whoever is after our lives must find him as soon as possible, before anyone else is murdered. Sophie's friends blame B, since no one knew anything about her. Both of them tell her that they've searched for you. There is no girl on social media by your name, and your name is not in the university, even though you saw our friend's dead body first. The girl says you've killed my friend, whom I loved. After saying this, B is kicked out by both girls. It was a heavy storm, and it was raining outside. They've locked all the doors to the house. Now, B goes to Sophie's car to hide. She puts down the mirrors of the car and sits there. She wears dry suits and eats chips. She again tries to go, and when she was standing at the window, she sees Sophie's friend, who hates Sophie. She was stealing her friend's dad's gun. After some time, B discovers a hidden entrance that helps her enter the house. She tells Sophie and the friend with her, Sophie, your friend, whose name is Jordan, has a gun. Jordan shows her pocket, and there is nothing in it. From her pocket, a page falls on which X is written. It means Jordan was the killer. B has broken everyone's trust now, and no one was trusting her. Now, B reveals her truth. She says that I got admission to the university but left because of my mom. Sophie, I didn't want to tell you like this, so I told a lie. Hearing this, Sophie hugs B. Later, Jordan takes her gun and says B is the killer. And I still consider B a killer. And I'm not going to fall for the lure of her alluring words. Sophie tells her to put away her gun. You won't do anything. A fight starts between them. They were revealing each other's secrets. Meanwhile, one of their friends tells Jordan that you're not that rich. She feels angry and shoots a bullet at her feet in anger. The girl was shouting and said, Jordan is the killer, and they begin to fight. In this fight, the gun was shot at the friend, whose feet Jordan had already shot. She dead. Jordan goes upstairs to escape. Sophie was chasing her and attempting to take her gun. When B noticed this, she grabbed Jordan's neck and threw her down. Jordan informs B to look through Sophie's phone. She is tricking you, and there are just B and Sophie left. They lost all 5 of their friends. B has no trust in Sophie and spends the night apart from her in secret. B comes in the morning, and the rain stops. Sophie approaches her from behind and gives her a hug. B holds Jordan's gun and tells her to show her phone. She disagrees, and they fight about it. And they both fell into a swimming pool. When B comes out, she finds a phone. However, it wasn't Sophie's phone. Instead, it belonged to Sophie's friend, whose place they come to for the party. Once B unlocks his phone, they start watching the video. He was using a large knife to open a bottle of wine. It strikes her neck by accident, and his neck is chopped. He passed away. It indicates there was no murderer there. Everyone who died there was innocent. The gay who was fighting with Sophie's friend showed up. He sees the dead bodies surrounding while he thinks on what happened there. Meanwhile, B notices that the cell phone has picked up the signals, and the light comes on, as do all the poor friends who have died. They died for nothing. There was no murderer, and no purpose or hate to fight. We all make errors on occasion. We have no idea what we're doing. So, before you do anything, figure that out first. What is the real reason for this? They were killed as a result of their mistake. Or it could be said that this was their stupidity. This movie ends here. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.